Dear religious viewer of Khabar Tahtak, the new link of story that I have brought before you under the religion section of Khabar Tahtak is related with the time span when Lord Vishnu, even if he had given a boon to Kashyap and Aditi to be his son, he was not fulfilling it. Dasrath and Kousalya was the present form of previous Kashyap and Aditi. He too were not preferring anything in order to have Lord Vishnu as his son. It seems that both have forgotten of that boon. We can even consider that Dasrath can forget of that boon, but how can one assume that Lord Vishnu too would have forgotten of his boon given to Kashyap and Aditi to be his son in next life, who is at present as Dasrath and Kousalya? Because he nurtured the entire universe, he can never make such a mistake. Otherwise, it would have been a great upheaval in the entire universe. So he can't do that. Even Lord Vishnu had accepted that he remembered that boon, and he had expressed this before when, with the atrocity that Ravana and other demons under the influence of a curse was atrocizing that entire creatures. Then, in order to get salvation from demon king Ravana, the entire creatures, including human, ape, snakes, kinnar, transgender, yaksh, even Mother Earth in the form of a cow, appeared before Lord Vishnu and requested for the salvation from the great atrocity made by Ravan and his associates. Then Lord Srihari Vishnu, while promising him salvation from the terrors of Demon King and Ravan and his associates, in Ramcharitmanas, the great sage Tulsidas has well described this. कश्यप अदिति महातप किन्हा तेहि ते मैं पूरव वर दिन्हा सो दशरथ कौसल्या रूपा कौशलपुरी प्रगट नर भूपा तेहि ते गृह अवतरी हूँ आई रघुकुल तिलक सुचार भाई नारद बचन सत्य सब करी हूँ परम प्रताप समेत अवतरी हूँ. That is, I have already promised Kashyap and Aditi while he was performing a great penance. I appeared before him and requested him for the boon, upon which he had requested a man like me as his son. Then I said, there is no one like me, so it is I who have to incarnate as your son in your later life, what is now Dasrath and Kousalya. He also said that he had to fulfill the curse given by Narada, for which he will incarnate with his full might and power. But giving promise for the salvation of the entire creature, everything become as usual. Lord Vishnu were not incarnating as a son of Dasrath and Kashyap, nor Dasrath and Kousalya were doing anything to get Lord Sri Hari Vishnu as his son. And on the other side, the atrocity was of demon king Ravana was continuously going on, increasing day by day. So now there arises a question: even if both know of this boon, none is progressing in order to fulfill this boon. For a single moment, even if we think that Dasratha would have forgotten of that boon, as it is described in the scriptures that while he was cursed by the parent of Shravan Kumar, he said that it would be immaterial as he has no son. But Lord Sri Hari Vishnu, who accepted that he remembered this boon and not incarnating, there is something sacred behind this. Certainly, there is something sacred behind this, and on the basis of different scriptures related with Lord Vishnu and his incarnation Ram, I am describing you of that sacred. First, we taking the side of Dasrath. Once upon a time, while Shravan Kumar was taking his parents for a pilgrimage on a balance on his neck, while he was passing through a dense jungle, his parents felt thirsty. He then Shravan Kumar kept his balance under a shadow of tree and went for getting some water. He took the pitcher and while drawn this in the water of the pond, which were surrounded by thick twigs, there appeared bubbling sound, and this misled King Dasratha, who was there for hunting, to have a wild carnivorous animals drinking water, and in order that he can flee, and there was not appearing anything in the pond for the presence of thick twigs all round there. He took an arrow which was controlled by his words and aimed it, gave the direction by words and shooted it. This hit did Shravan Kumar, and hearing the cry of Shravan Kumar, instantly King Dasratha felt his guilty and went there. At the time, Shravan Kumar was dying, and he took a vow from Dasratha to fetch water to his parents. And when Dasrath arrived at his parents and started fetching him with the water, the parents of Shravan Kumar cursed Dasratha, saying, Yatha vayam putrastav tvapi evam marisyasi. That means you will die in the same state, in the same stage as I am dying for the separation of my son. So Dasrath had to attend that stage of life in order to fulfill the curse made by the parent of Shravan Kumar, which could not go in vain. However, Dasrath had mocked up this, telling he has no son. So he had to wait for the fourth stage to arrive and did no attempt to have a son in his prior stage of life. Now, the second reason is that when being parent of the atrocity of Ravan, all the creatures had arrived at Vishnu for the salvation, and he had promised to do so. At the same moment, there had been appeared a voice in the sky which Lord Brahmadev decoded, saying that deities present there to take birth in the form of aviars in order to help Lord Sri Hari Vishnu while he would incarnated as Rama. So this was also reason that it was some time taking, and for that time Lord Vishnu had nothing to do incarnating as Rama, and he was, even in spite of knowing everything, were remaining in the Vaikuntha Lok, his residence. Now think of Lord Vishnu himself. It was not only Ravan and his clan who were cursed. Lord Sri Hari Vishnu were also cursed of Narada, the detailed story of which I have already presented before you in another episode. As per this curse of Narada, he had to marry a woman which would be goddess Lakshmi in the form of Sita. And the generation of Sita was possible only with the holy blood of different sects which Ravan could collect, penalizing the hermits and great sects. Keeping it in a pitcher, Ravan would put it inside the earth, and Janka, while hacking, will get this pitcher, and then Sita will marry Ram. That will be the incarnation of Lord Sri Hari Vishnu. And for this, that time was required, and Lord Sri Hari Vishnu was waiting for the time to come. And when all the odds were settled, as per the wishes of Lord Vishnu, both Lord Vishnu as well as Dasrath started in order to fulfill at the same time in the same way. And this was why when Lord the King Dasrath attained the fourth stage of his life, he was very remorseful once while seeing his face that he had no son at that time. Then remorsefully went to his priest Vasishtha, told everything of him, upon which consoling sage Vasishtha said him that he would have four sons, and ordered him to prepare for a sacrifice related with son under the guidance of hermit Sring. When the sacrifice was going on, the sacrificial fire, Agnidev himself appeared with a pious and handed it over to Sage Vasishtha to give it to King Dasrath so that he can distribute it among his queens, and he will get 4 sons. Then, with the same pious, he gave to his queens, and then from Kausalya, the Lord Sri Hari Vishnu incarnated as Ram and gave happiness to everyone.